in with Rob and Sharon. They're out in the garden with a couple of crops that love this colder weather. Hey, guys.
Hey there. Yeah, it's not the start of a crime drama, but we were digging in the garden and found a hand. We were looking for fingerling potatoes, but when you get what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one, that you got to call that a hand potato. That's excellent.
That was a pretty good harvest.
Yeah, not bad though, huh?
Yeah. And
how many plants was that?
About 12, I think. There are 4 small rows. And, you know, you can just cook these as they are. You don't peel them. You cook them as they are and enjoy them just that way.
Boil them up, roast them up, whatever your preference is. Kind of too tiny to bake,
butter.
But you could do that.
Yeah, some of them actually turned out pretty large.
Excellent. So big thumbs up there. Now we move on to some more of these cold, weather-loving cold crops, right?
Right. The cold crops, as in coleslaw.
Oh,
it's cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower is in that group too.
Okay.
Cauliflower, you harvest one head and you're done.
That's all you get, right?
Cabbage, on the other hand, we harvested the main head from in the center right here.
Okay.
And then all the side shoots form other little heads of cabbage.
Oh, it's like little tiny spin-offs here.
Yeah, and that happens not only right where you harvested it, but down underneath too. And that's where I harvested all of these heads from, was down underneath all these leaves. And there's another one down here.
So you got to go digging in there to get those too.
Yeah, so it's worth waiting and getting those harvested later, and you've got a second harvest of cabbage to use.
Can you
and
eat these outer leaves? Because you don't
heads-
usually see those on when you buy it at the grocery store. You don't see it there.
The what?
The outer leaves that are bigger, darker green?
Right, we leave the outer leaves on, you know, and then decide when you go to use them, whether you're going to use those or not. They're fine to eat. They certainly still are very nutritious. Broccoli, also, you harvest the main head, and I guess the main head was right down here. And then it produces side shoots all summer long, and we've been harvesting off this plant for a very long time. They're getting very small now, but it still is a nice harvest, and you get 10 or 12 of these in a harvest.
They're not always as big as the main head, though.
Never. They'll never be as big. And then as you cut, wherever you cut back to, then the sprouts, just like on the cabbage, underneath there, the next buds will form, and those will grow 2 more spears of broccoli.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it keeps going all summer long. So I really like these 2 cold crops for that
they keep
reason.
just giving back.
But the Brussels sprouts, you don't harvest anything until the very end of the season.
So it's a lot of labor for one big payoff.
Yes, and the Brussels sprouts the sprouts grow in the axils of the leaves, so where the leaf attaches to the stem.
Right.
And you can see that they're still very small on this plant, and down lower they're larger, but they're still not huge. One of the principles of horticulture is that the very top bud on a plant controls the growth of those buds down below. It's called apical dominance, because that's the apical bud.
So don't go chopping that off.
Well, if you do chop that off, the ones on the sides, the buds lower down, will be able to grow more. So we do chop that off.
Okay, I would have thought that you would leave it so that it would be in control, but
no,
then you actually get more out of it.
It's preventing them from growing. So about this time of the year, maybe even a couple of weeks earlier, you take off the top, maybe a quarter of the plant. No real scientific reason, place to do the cutting.
Just pick a spot that works for you.
Right. And then that'll help those sprouts to get larger. So we'll compare those. The thing with this plant is that if you can see down in here, so the cameraman can get down in there.
They get pretty big, don't they?
They already did this all by themselves. This one is almost the size of a little head of cabbage.
I was going to say, it's more like a cabbage.
It's huge.
All right. That's cool.
So I don't know why this one did so much better than the rest of them, but we're going to help those others along a little bit by removing that apical bud.
There you go. Sounds good. All right, we'll be back in the garden in about 20 minutes. Let's go back to the studio for now.